Morton. I want to welcome everybody here. I want to thank you for coming. Before we get anything going, as we always do, we are going to post the colors and have an invocation, and then we will enjoy the fine meal put on by the American Legion here. If you've never had a breakfast at the American Legion, you're about to have an extra treat. So these people do a great job. So without any more hesitation, post the colors.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come before you today in humility and faith. We thank you for all you have given us and the many blessings in our lives. Thank you for the food which we are about to receive, and please bless those who prepared it. Father, we ask for your guidance and strength. Show us the way and fill us with courage and wisdom. Help us to remember your love and your grace, and to be faithful in our service to you. Give us the patience and understanding to face life's challenges with grace. Father, please give a special blessing to all those who are here today, and especially our beloved veterans. Please watch over all those who serve this great country and bring them home safely each and every day. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thank you. Have a seat. Enjoy breakfast. We'll start at about 9 o'clock. We'll have a small program after breakfast. Enjoy. I want to thank the American Legion Post 318 for all their hard work, for everything that they do to help us and host this annual breakfast. They do a phenomenal job. And as I said earlier, their food and their service and the people here are second to none. So I want to thank all of you back here. Let's give them another round. To start off our program, I've got two speakers. The first one that'll talk is from the East Peoria Veterans Parade. His name is George Herman. George, come on up and tell us a little bit about your event later on. Right now? You're on, sir.
I'll get up here. Hurry up.
I'm kind of shy of this.
Hurry up. My name's Chris Miller. I'll wait.
Good morning, fellow veterans. This flyer was handed out to you earlier this morning, and the headline reads, "If you've done this, we want you." Well, the question is, what are the guys doing? Well, if they were like me, standing in a line in uniform, go to the mess hall or when you get on a bus or a truck, you're a veteran, by golly. And when they tell you to line up, you're a veteran. So what I'm trying to say is, everybody's invited to this parade because it's a veterans parade in November. It's a week before the National Veterans Day comes up. And so all veteran groups are invited to attend our parade. This is Tazewell County's oldest veterans parade, actually. In fact, just a minute.
That's your age?
And anyhow, our parade's 92 years old. We started way back in 1931, when we first got to Victoria. And anyhow, like I say, we are Tazewell County's oldest parade. So if you guys belong to a group and you want to show your colors, come on down. And this is November 4th. And we start behind the Tazewell store in East Peoria, and we're going to march past Target, and we're on the bend there, and we end up in the front library parking lot. But it's a lot of fun, and last year, we know what I'm talking about. Well, actually, it's a roundabout because when they forget about it, we had 55-mile-an-hour winds, and I was at the end of the parade, and here comes the rest of the parade, you know, and the stragglers were actually just trying to, challenge didn't get around the corner there. We had a group, it was a nice, when we first started out, a real nice, fresh looking outfit. By the time they got to the finish line, they were all going single file. Instead of a five-man front, they were all single file and marching in. It was tough. But we're veterans, we did it. So anyhow, guys, if you have a group that you want to show your colors and that you're still strong as a group and community, we invite you guys to come down to our East Peoria Veterans Day Parade on November 4th, which is this Saturday. And thanks for your time.
Thank you, George. Did everybody hear me back there?
Yeah.
Because I'm really hearing myself. Our keynote speaker is right here in Tazewell County. He is the superintendent of the Veterans Assistance Commission. And a lot of folks don't even know that they're over there and what they do. So we've asked Steven Saal, who is the superintendent, to come on up and talk a little bit about their organization, what they do, and how important it is to veterans everywhere.
Say thank you very much for having this nice, delicious breakfast post 318. My name is Steven Saal. Like Jim said, I am superintendent of the VAC of Tazewell County. I see in the audience a couple of my military teams, and I'd like to have the ones that are on the TAC team and the TMR2 team please stand up. The reason I want people to recognize these people go out do military funerals for the veterans that have passed away. We're very lucky in Tazewell County to have these two groups. Because a lot of counties don't have this, and unfortunately that veteran does not get the proper burial. So I'm really happy to have these people. I work with them day in there, day and night. They're there in the morning, they're there in the rain, snow, sleet, hail, rain, everything. They're equipped, they do their dedication. Again, I appreciate them. Please be seated now. Also, a big subject in my office, the question is, or people call, is the discharge paper, known as the DD-214. I look at the crowd in here, I think most of them hopefully have it on hand, the veterans, or some of their relations. But if you don't get that DD-214 in the hand, myself, or those two honor guards, that veteran would not get a proper burial. That is the number one paper when the veteran gets out of this service discharge. Until the day they die. Realistic. You've got to have that paper. There are some avenues to get it. If you don't have it, or you know people that don't have it, come down to my office, we can order it for them. But it takes about 2 or 3 months out of St. Louis to get it. But ask around, ask your fellow neighbor, fellow veteran, out in public. I get these questions all the time when I'm out and about. And we do our best to make sure the DD-214 is, they have it. Here's a little story. That's 50 years next month. I got out of the Marine Corps. I got home, and Dad goes, what are you going to do now? Well, I'm going to go out and see a few people. I said, no, you're not. He said, you're taking that discharge paper down at the recorder deeds office. Then it was on the second floor at the courthouse. And you're going to register that or record it before you go out and have a good time. So I had to take it down there, get it recorded, go on the back, the little slip. And next thing you know, I see Dad, I'll see you in a couple of days. So he didn't see me for 3 days. But no, it's very important to have that. And of course, you got to have it to get into the VA clinic. Because if you don't 1010EZ out, you got to have that DD-214 to knowledge that you're get in the clinic. So there's so many avenues you need that paper for. You can buy the house, this or that. But that, if you got that recorded, you've got it forever in that courthouse. Even some people got out in different parts of the country, states. Sometimes you have to go back, ask the recorder if they got it there, and this and that. But like I said, you tell your fellow veterans, just tell them about the DD-214. On the other big subject, I get questions. It's a program called AIDS and Attendance. It's a program that kind of helps the veteran out, really if they have disability, to go to like assisted living, but it's all, of course, going by the guidelines and their income. So when somebody calls me on the phone and want to talk about the AIDS and Attendance program, they usually come down to the office and talk about it. Because probably once or twice a week I do get phone calls. What should I do with my uncle? What should I do with my dad? My mom can't take care of it anymore, this or that. Of course, I ask them, do they belong to the clinic? If they belong to the clinic, then you possibly get 5 to 6 hours a week. Somebody can come in their home and help them. If it's too far along, then that's where the AIDS attendants come through. Then hopefully they can register for that, and if they follow the guidelines or have the proper income, they can go into the assisted living. Another program we're starting up, and it's taken a while. We're going to start doing service claims in Tazewell County. We have never done them here. We've always sent the individuals to Peoria, and they always, the DSO officer always came down to Keynote once a month. That's been discontinued about 4 or 5 years ago. But there is now a new mandate last May that every DAC office in the state has got to have a DSO officer. So I'm in the process, after I got the funding through, and Tazewell County Board helped me out a lot. They do a great job helping me out any needs I need for the office, for my expenditures. The board decided go ahead and do what you got to do. So I hired 2 individuals. I got one that worked in the office part-time. He's full-time now, Jim Chisholm. He's gone to the schooling. He's gone to this and that. It's almost been, November he went, and after all the clarifications and all the different paperwork, he's just waiting for his certificate. Then probably in August, he'll start hearing claims. He's already had 40 to 50 people, preliminary interviews to talk to them what they need to be done. We've probably got another 20 on the roster. We're going to start calling more next week. So we're reaching out the best we can, and I'll let you two, all your people out there too, reach out and tell them the DAC in Tazewell County, we're at 335 4th Street, across on the north side of the courthouse, for carrying claims, and we're going to go by appointment. It's the easiest way to do it. And I did hire another veteran in April. His name is Matt Eistelder. He was in the Army Reserve and regular Army for 32 years. He just got out, he's 50 years old. And he started his training in August, and hopefully come January he'll have his certificate. So we'll be at full steam ahead by within a year and a half in this procedure we're getting into. This is all new for us, new program. But the way it's looking, I think we'll be all right. It's going to take a while to get it organized in the office and seeing people. But our main thing is taking care of the veterans of Tazewell County. My DAC board is made up, there's 20 service clubs in Tazewell County. There's 9 Legions, 5 VFWs, and also there's some individual ones. The 14-8 at North Peak and Ambets, the DAV 60, disabled veterans, got the 14-8, and I forgot one maybe, but there's 20 altogether, and each club or post has a member, has a delegate and alternate. So the representation throughout Tazewell County is represented. But usually have about 12 to 13 there at our meeting. Actually on hand today in the audience, I got Jim Miller. He's come from 169 as a delegate, and also Bob Dan. He's my vice chair of the DAC. He's in the audience today too. So these guys go out and about and do their thing and keep asking people and veterans, we're here in Tazewell County. I know I get the statement, I never knew you were here. We've been here since 1978, believe it or not. We're in our 45th year. We were out Tremont from 1978 to 2010, and from 2010, we were downtown. 2 different locations. No, 3 locations. But you get the word out. I mean, I'm in the grocery store, everything. Also, I got a couple people in here that I helped and talked them into it. They finally got their claims in and their proper adjustments for their claims. And they came back to me and said, well, you should have listened to me a long time ago. So, another big thing, why we're talking about the claims and everything, I want to talk about the VA clinic in Peoria. It's a wonderful clinic. We've got 2 satellites. We've got one in Bloomington, and we've got one in Galesburg too. The Galesburg vets go to Iowa City for additional care. And from Bloomington and from Peoria, they go to Danville or Indianapolis. So there are fine hospitals out there for these veterans, and I just hope they take advantage of it. Really, that's about all. Does anybody have any questions out there? Don't be bashful. Yeah, George.
You said that each post has a delegate to your group?
Yeah. Your post is Jack Adams, and I forgot his name. Well, he's your second, he's your junior vice.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian, yeah. That comes to your post. 1278 PFW. Yes, sir.
I have a question about, recently, you know, we used to go for coffee and pen, like some of those older ones, like the Danville or wherever. And most recently, I see the Veterans Administration has switched to an outside supplier called QTC. I don't know if you're familiar with that, or what's your thoughts about that?
Ray, I'm not really familiar with the program that they have now, but if you want to come down to my office, we'll definitely check into it. I'll give you a card after the breakfast is over. Let them take care of it. Well, thank you. Thanks, Suzette.
What are your hours down there?
Hours at, on Court Street, we're here from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. Otherwise, yes, sir.
What's your estimate how many vets there are in Tazewell?
You know, the last count, that was 2 years ago, it was around about 10,000 vets.
Wow.
But unfortunately, that number is dwindling fast. Bob.
Yeah, if I could just expand a little bit on your honor guard, the tag team, the TMRG team.
Yeah, go ahead.
That does a great job. I belong to, Jim Miller also belongs to the Patriot Guard. Okay, we've done, I myself have done over 300 missions, and that's what we call them, is missions. I've been in it for 10 or 12 years. I've got back in the old days when, and I'm talking 10, 12, 15 years ago, when the protesters would come from Kansas and protest the funerals of our fallen. We've done several of those in this area. Okay, they're pretty much a dead issue now, but because they haven't been around in a while. But the point I want to make is every veteran in here we'd be glad to do a mission for your fallen, for yourself. You're hopefully not yourself right now, but you know, any relative, and it's all you've got to do is ask the funeral home. Preston Hanley and Pekin is really good about contacting us and stuff. There's no charge whatsoever. We come out and we'll do a flag line at the door for during your visitations. Well, we'll escort, if you want an escort of the ashes of the casket to the cemetery. We'll do flag lines there. I mean, what an honor it is to have us out there, and I'm speaking because it is. Okay, so please ask. You're entitled to it as a veteran. I mean, you know, please ask your funeral directors to contact us. Okay, because we'd be glad to come out and do it for you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, for the information. Well, I guess that's all. Well, thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Steve. You know, just as a personal note, when my father passed away, he was an Army veteran, and this was, what, 9 years ago? The town where he lived did not have a taxi. It took us a lot of work to get a team there to his town for a burial ceremony. The burial ceremonies are beautiful. No veteran should be buried without one. They really shouldn't. So, thank you, folks, for the work that you do. A lot of people ask, especially younger kids, will ask me, you know, what's the difference in the military branches? And I often tell them, you know, a lot of it has to do with the stars. You know, the Army and the Marines, they sleep under the stars. The Navy and the Coast Guard, they use the stars to navigate. Now the Air Force, they use the stars to pick their hotels.
I was just telling her about the Air Force and the Navy, the difference. Airport.
If you've served in the U.S. Air Force, please stand up for a second. Do you have anybody here? All right, I'm insulted. U.S. Army, if you're a part of the U.S. Army, please stand. Do we have any Coast Guard, United States Coast Guard in here?
My son-in-law.
All right, thank you to your son-in-law. Are there any U.S. Marine Corps? We'll hand you guys your color crayons. Any National Guard? And how about U.S. Navy?
Woo!
Folks, these men and women have sacrificed so much for our freedom and our liberty. Please look at them. Know who they are. Listen to their stories. They have some incredible stories to tell. They are the heroes, and they walk among us every day in our communities. They are our friends, they are our neighbors, and they're our family. Look at them and understand the choice they made and would make again today. Carries on the tradition of our great nation, of the United States of America. Each of us salute you, and we thank you for your service and your sacrifice in defense of our great country. Please join me in applause of these great veterans. Now, every year, if you've been coming to these, we always honor a veteran of the year. We select somebody who has been honorably discharged, who served, from the U.S. military, and who has given back to the community consistently over the years. And this year was no different. It was a tough choice, but it was very clear who our Veteran of the Year should be. Our Veteran of the Year served in the Marine Corps from 1971 to 1973. He went in through MCRD in San Diego. He was stationed at Camp Pendleton in California and Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. He was also stationed at Parris Island as part of the 2nd Battalion. You've already met him today. He has spent the last 25 years as commander at the American Legion Post 44 Beacon. He belongs to many service clubs and fraternal organizations, and he is currently at the Tazewell County Veterans Assistance Commission, located at 335 Port Street. It is Steve Saal. Thank you very much. All right, this is a plaque that we give to our Veteran of the Year. This is the 2023 Veteran of the Year for Steven A. Saal, presented by the Tazewell County Republicans. So here it is, sir. Thank you very much. I want to read to you the nomination letter. We always ask folks for a nomination letter, and this is the nomination letter that came in. We nominate Steve Saal for Veteran of the Year 2023. Dan has known Steve most of his adult life. Steve has always been interested in veterans. Yeah, have a seat, please. Steve has always been interested in veterans and caring for their well-being. His background as a Marine and Devil Dog has assisted him greatly. My own personal experience with the man was helping me get my VA benefits started in 2010. He remembers me on my birthday every year and sends me a stick of gum. That's got to be a Marine.
Got crayons.
Yeah. You've eaten crayons, huh? Mr. Saal, in his everyday job at Tazewell County Veterans Assistance Commission, gets supplies, housing, and VA benefits. He speaks to organizations about veterans and their needs on his own time and works with many veteran organizations to aid and assist. He organizes Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies, getting speakers and flags for the ceremony. He has been the right man for the right time for this office. Our personal experience with Steve has always been positive and well received. Please consider Steve Saal for Veteran of the Year 2023. Thank you, Dan and Suzette Swift. So, thank you very much. Congratulations, sir.
Speaking about the community service, when I got out of the Marine Corps in '73, my dad goes, "You're going to join this. You're going to join this. You're going to be active here. You're going to do this." Mainly what he belonged to. And so I belong to a lot of organizations. My wife one day asked me, "If you died on me, I could name all the service clubs you belong to. You wouldn't have to write them down." So I kept the tradition going. And I promised my dad, he passed away 27 years ago, and he said, "You know, I'm not going to be here much longer, but I want you to keep your volunteerism, service-oriented things, keep those service clubs going." But right now, here I am, 27 years later, still doing the same thing. I know my dad will be proud for getting this nice, beautiful award from your organization here. He's looking down now, and hopefully I will keep the tradition going. And I want to thank you very much again. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Congratulations. I want to thank all the veterans who are here today and who aren't here. We need to remember our veterans each and every day, not just on Veterans Day, but throughout the year. They give so much, and their families do as well. So when you're a military family, you sacrifice a lot. And it's all for the freedoms and the liberties that we enjoy as American citizens. So thank you very much for being here. Look forward to having this again next year. And again, enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you for being here. That concludes our program. Is there anything that I forgot? Any questions? Okay, thank you.